This is Pavan here. So let us start in 2 minutes here. We can start in 2 minutes from now. So good afternoon, everyone. So this is Pavan here. So myself, Pavan. So I have been in this industry for more than 14 years, and then so I am here with you on today's topic of agenda on Adobe Analytics. Okay, so working with the Adobe Analytics for past 13 years, so I am well certified enough in order to take this training. Okay, and so we are going to discuss about the Adobe Analytics in detail. And myself, Pavan. Okay, so I have been working with industry for more than 14 years of experience, and then my core competence is the global and technical leadership and data and strategy consultant. So I am certified enough, and then I have delivered around 28 projects in total in terms of the analytics and tag management as well as the data platforms and visualization. So in terms of the clientele experience that I have handled, so it's into the BFSI, e-commerce and healthcare, where I am taking the global markets and clients like Apple, Walmart and Best Buy and Walgreens. So I have led around 13 different teams in terms of that. So my area of expertise is Adobe consulting into the CDP strategy, data injection, and customer journey analytics and journey optimizer. So, which is my all things. And then if you see around, so I have around 28 certifications in total. So, working around the Adobe solutions in terms of the clean rooms and ad tech and Google solutions as well as the customer data platforms. Right. So, in terms of the Telium, Salesforce, and EEP, so Adobe is my core expertise in which I will be working out with you in terms of that. And today's topic is all about Adobe Analytics. So working with the Martech teams and AdTech teams, I have explored various divisions of in terms of the Adobe Analytics as in various things. So right now, so what we are going to discuss is all about the Adobe Analytics training. So first, I will be explaining you about the Adobe Analytics in terms of the Adobe why Adobe Analytics is the things, and I will be also helping you out in terms of the uh, what is that. So we need to take it forward, and what is the web analytics that we have to take it. So speaking about So today's topic is about the Adobe Analytics and working around the purpose of matrices and standard matrices that I will be taking, and then I will be discussing more in detail about the calculator. So this is the training that I have. So I have around 28 modules that I have been devised in terms of the Adobe Analytics from the expert level to the solution architect level. So I will be giving the customized trainings to each and every corporate, and so those who wants to take it, so it is around 99.99 percentage practical and only 0.1 percentage theory is my motto. Okay, so today I will be discussing about the Adobe Analytics and then why Adobe Analytics in detail. So let me take a pause and then discuss about the Adobe Analytics in detail. Yeah, so give me 1 minute and then so I'll open up the presentation. So in terms of the Adobe Analytics, which is our core expertise. Okay, okay. So what is analytics? Is for one brand. Okay, so you are have say some track. So every analytical person will have this kind of an methodology. Okay, so what is Adobe Analytics? Okay, so Hello, is it good right now? Is it good right now? Please confirm. Is it good right now? Is it good right now? Okay, thank you. There is some kind of an audio issue, so which is causing problem. Okay, so let me restart. Let me restart the webinar once again. Okay, so as per as it is concerned, so today's agenda is all about. Okay, so we will be working on the Adobe Analytics in place. Okay, so now what are the topics that we will be working out? Okay, so what are the topics that we will be working out, right? So if we talk about the Adobe Analytics in detail scope, right? So I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about this. Okay. So today we are talking about the Adobe Analytics, and then so myself Pavan. Okay, I have around 14 years of industrial experience in terms of handling of the customers and then implementation of the CDP as a whole. Okay, so so my profile is evangelized. So this is my LinkedIn profile, and my profile is evangelized with a kind of an environment, and I worked with various companies, and then I am been certified in terms of working with the various kit like Adobe, Apple, and then I'm handling around the Adobe CDP COV specialist. So wherein my role is to handle all the Adobe related work in terms of the AEP, AJO, and Adobe Analytics as a testing, and then provide the scalable architecture in terms of the CDP and AI. So this is what I am trying to do, and then so I worked with various clients like Apple, Denim Boss team, and then working with the clients like Adobe in control. So this is the kind of an environmental, and then I work with the enterprise CDP clients. So this is what I am, and then I am the head of the Adobe Consulting wing. Okay, wherein so I have worked with the CDP, AJO, and AEP, and then the data analytics team. So this is what it is. So today agenda is all about okay delivering the content or delivering the inputs on Adobe Analytics as a tool, right? So today I will be explaining you about the Adobe Analytics, and then I have devised around 14 to 16 different modules on entire Adobe stack. So through which you can able to bring the scalable architecture of the Adobe Analytics implementation as well as the reporting in terms of the utilization of the tag management space, and then build a kind of a report okay to the audience in terms of the bringing. So these are the topics that I will be covering. So today I will be covering about the introduction to Adobe Analytics, okay, wherein so I will be covering most of the things, and then I'll be explaining you why Adobe Analytics, right? So I will be explaining you more in detail, so with a kind of a presentation. So my approach is 99.99% is practical, 0.1% is theory. Okay, so I will not be delivering the kind of an outcome. So and then so it is a kind of an agile mode delivery. Okay, wherein so I'll be collaborating with you in one-on-one. So once you are in for the training, and you can contact me on my LinkedIn for the trainings. So you can contact me for on LinkedIn for the trainings, and it will be a customized with a project, and it will be also providing a kind of an heuristic view, okay, where I can able to take it up. So with a kind of an learn and deploy model. So first learn and then deploy into your production environment, and then so bring it on to the scalable this thing. So Once the training is completed, my outcome is okay. So you can able to get the kind of an hands-on experience on the Adobe Analytics, and then you can able to independently consult and then implement Adobe Analytics into the organization and work with the matrices and reporting, and then prepare a kind of an heuristic view with the kind of an reporting for your clients. Okay, so as an independent contributor, so this is what is the outcome that I can able to deliver. Today I will be delivering about the Adobe Analytics. Okay, why Adobe Analytics, and then so what for important that Adobe Analytics matrices is. Okay, so let me open up the presentation. Okay, and then so I will be taking up this. So so let me tell you, okay? So suppose the client, okay, so they have a website, okay, they have a website. Any of the client that have a website, okay, so he is biased on, so he is coming into the visit, okay. For example, say I will take ey.com as a website, okay. So he is coming into the visit. Okay, so suppose he is coming into the visitor or something likewise, right? So here is like, okay, if anybody is coming into the website or web visit, like what we call he is doing from the source. Okay, he is typing in ey.com and then he is coming in. So here it is a kind of an URL, and these are called the DOM elements. Okay, these are called the DOM elements in which you will be tracking the clicks, attribution, and then clicks, and then how the website. Okay, suppose you have a website, okay, and you doesn't have any kind of an outcome or something. Okay, so you just have a plain website, but you doesn't have any kind of an what we call who is doing what, from which country that that the customer is coming. So here is the mechanism. Here is the mechanism of the analytical procedure. So first, let me bring it out. What is analytics? Okay. So what is web analytics? And then so I will be taking it up. So the web analytics is something like, okay, so you will be having a measurement and analysis to inform about the users, and then how that the users are behaving across the site. Okay, so for example, say if anybody is coming onto the site and then they are scrolling and then they are clicking on this link and then this thing. So what if what if a business user can able to understand, a business user can able to understand, okay, by means of this many clicks are happening, these are the topmost matrices that are getting captured, and then so this many users has been downloaded the PDF. Okay, so bring it on, okay, to the business transformation. So where you will be explaining to the business that this is the data driven approach. Okay, data is an oil to the business. Okay, data is a fuel to the business. Okay, what if you can able to prepare a dashboard and then present to the client or stakeholder. So this is what is the website visit, and this is what is for that you need an analytical mechanism. Analytics as a whole is a kind of a combination in terms of where in terms of various processes as well as the tool driven process or approaches through which you can able to inject that Adobe Analytics into your organization, and then prepare a kind of a reporting, okay, to the clients, such that the clients will be evaluating the data driven decisions. Analytics is for the data driven decisions. Analytics is for the data driven decisions. And then there is a scope of web analytics. Web analytics is also for the data driven decisions. When a user is coming into the website and then he doing something and then he's doing that. Okay, suppose, okay, I have delivered more than 200 use cases for the clients. Okay, so suppose there is a birthday reminder campaign or else any campaign is going. Okay, the user wants to know how many clicks that are happening on this campaign, which is a touch view. Okay, here Adobe Analytics plays a vital role in order to do that. Okay. Now coming into the definition of the Adobe Analytics. Okay. Adobe Analytics is a real-time customer intelligence tool where you can able to put the data at the center for every marketing movement and enhance the business opportunities. Okay. Adobe Analytics is integrated with each of the solution. For example, say this envy.com. Okay. So anybody is coming into that, so we will have that app measurement code that is placed and then it will be tracking. Okay, for example, say Pavan and Varsha are coming into the site and then they are doing that. Okay, we are not going to track who is Pavan, we are not going to track who is Varsha, but we can able to track Pavan and Varsha, okay, with session ID, okay, some XYZ session ID. He is doing a kind of a mechanism. He has gone into that logged in and then he has created a lot of events and then once after the events he has gone into that and then booked a subscription model. Okay, so that means that, okay, for example, say what kind of an events that we can able to evaluate here. Okay, it depends upon the clicks and then it depends upon the configuration, it depends upon the business requirement. For that, Adobe Analytics, okay, I'm stating that our analytics mechanism is useful. Why Adobe Analytics? Okay, in larger organizations or bigger level organizations, okay, so we use Adobe Analytics in order to drive the data because of its complex integration with the complex data driven decisions, and then so we can able to integrate that data driven decisions into that, right? So and then the business problems are into the scalable approach. In order to do that, okay, Adobe Analytics plays a vital role, and then the implementation of the Adobe Analytics is well crucial. Okay, there are a lot of analytics in the market. Okay, let's say suppose Google Analytics. What is the main difference in between the Google Analytics and Adobe Analytics? Right, Adobe Analytics has a common prediction like a Sophia algorithm. There are a lot of algorithms that are injected, and then it will be predicting the business complex behavior and then the user behavior and then inducted with the predictive intelligence. Okay, it is inducted in the predictive intelligence through which the other analytical mechanisms or other softwares doesn't have that. So Adobe Analytics is the vital part in order to implement for any organization, and then so it has the complex. So every organization is equipped with lot of business problem. It depends upon the business user, so which tool has to be inducted. Okay, now Adobe Analytics is a real-time tool. Okay, now coming into this. Okay, so let me show you the UI of this tool. Okay, so experience.adobe.com. If you go into this, okay, you will see the analytics mechanism. So here is the Adobe Analytics. So where you can able to utilize and then so you can able to prepare the reports. Okay, so before that, so you need to implement before that, so you need to take it ahead and then so for example, say if anybody is asking for the training. Okay, so here are the sample reports. Okay, if you give, okay, if a user like, so for every stakeholder, okay, for every stakeholder, okay, if you are giving the problem, okay, with a solution of the data, then your weightage will be increasing. Okay, so for that Adobe Analytics will be very helpful in order to do that. And then so out of 21 different surveys, okay, Adobe Analytics has a kind of a capability or competency in order to derive the complex analysis or complex data true. Okay, so this is what it has been reported by Ganter report of 2021. Okay, so all the digital experiences tool or the digital analytics. Okay, so through which we are getting a kind of an outcome. So and then Adobe Analytics stood a prominent place in terms of the replacing the CX as a journey, and then so understanding of the user or audience or understanding the visitors in a prominent way. So if you see here, okay, this is the tool, and then so you can able to track. right? So on June 21, so who has coming in and how many it is? Okay, right now there is no data because this is a sandbox environment. And then if you see, okay, so if you see these pages, right? So you can see this like likewise. So like if you are getting a context of that, right? Okay, so Adobe Analytics can able to help you and justify, okay, what exactly is happening on the website or what exactly is happening on that with the data driven approach. Okay, right now we are in a starting stage, so understand this. Okay, Adobe Analytics is a predictive tool through which you can able to understand the kind of an heuristic view and then prepare the data along, okay, with the help of the predictive intelligence that is added on into this, and then so we can able to utilize that. Okay, at this point of time you should remember Adobe Analytics. Okay, about Adobe Analytics, Adobe Analytics is a kind of a tool where you can able to extract the information, so and then so you can able to store it. Okay, so before going into further, okay, so for example, say if Adobe Analytics is there in the if Adobe Analytics is there in the market, okay, so why we are not utilizing it at a scale? Okay, 99.99 percentage. Okay, so a lot of companies are preferring Adobe Analytics over the Google Analytics data. Okay, so because of its accurate and there is no discrepancy in the data. So when it comes to when it comes to the Adobe Analytics, and then so each of the solution provider in terms of the 9 out of 10, okay, solution providers have mentioned that Adobe Analytics is a good tool, right? Now coming back to the agenda, okay, so I will be explaining you about the Adobe Analytics and then so why it is useful and then how to bring the dashboard, so that all come in the later session, so through which, okay, once you are paid, okay, paid subscriber, so I'll be working on your training plan and then help you to deliver the training as per it is been discussed on that. Okay, now now if you see here, okay, the Adobe Analytics, this is the Adobe Analytics, okay, of UI of the Adobe Analytics. Okay, this is what is the UI of the Adobe Analytics, where you will have the projects, templates, and learning. Okay, so I will be utilizing the projects in order to keep the project. Okay, so the steps for creation of the project. Okay, why project in the sense? Okay, to organize the kind of a dashboards that you create and how you can able to utilize the dashboards. Okay, this is what it is in terms of the projects. Okay, next, Adobe templates. Okay, what are the Adobe templates? The Adobe templates are predefined and existing templates in order to utilize, okay, such that the users will save a lot of time, right? So and then we can able to get the learning parts. Okay, learning part will be assigned from the experience cloudly, and so soon after you will be receiving an email about that. Yeah, so and so this is the workspace. Okay, workspace is like a playground where you can able to utilize the and then you can able to bring that report. Okay, for suppose, okay, I'm creating a blank report and I will be doing a page wise analysis. Okay, page. Okay, and then how many times it is working. Okay, or else if you doesn't have that, okay, how many are the page views. Okay, so page views will be generally zero. Okay, generally zero it will be, and if you want to use, if you want to use the browser functionality, so you can able to use the browser functionality, right? So in terms of that, so whatever the event is there, there will be a pattern that is attached to it. Okay, so you need to find out that pattern in order to evaluate who is wrong and then which is right. Okay, so likewise, so you have to take it forward with the help of the class nodes that is available, and you can able to take the schemas that are available over the minutes of meeting channel. Okay, so give me a break of 1 minute and then we can start. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay, as we discussed it, right? As we discussed it, right? So yeah, as we discussed it, right? So we are working on the a project. So wherein so we have to migrate the entire Google Analytics to Adobe Analytics. Okay, so that one is progressing right now. So to which I will be keeping a posted update on that, right? Okay, so here you can know, right? Okay, so introduction of the Adobe Analytics is completed. Okay, Python. So there is a myth stating that, okay, do we need Python code or SQL language in order to do that? Okay, but answer is no. Okay, answer is no. Okay, because Python and SQL are very much efficient. So if you are using the RDBMS database, right? So here in Adobe Analytics, it is pre-configured and then it is a predefined data set. So with a lot of control over the data. So the answer to that is no, but it depends upon the type of the organization to organization, and then the profile data sets, and then balanced metric scenario. So it depends upon the various number of factors. Okay, it depends upon various number of factors which tool to consider. Okay, now coming into this. Okay, so I will be explaining you about the matrices, right? So this is the dashboard, okay, wherein so you can able to do that, and then the UI part I will be taking it later, okay, because this if we talk about the matrices and segments, so then there will be a kind of an gesture from the customer and then dialing of the customer in terms of the utilization. So let us see, okay, if a profile is there. Okay, for example, say if a profile is there, he has gone into the product one on product two. Okay, what will happen in the sense, okay, one product one on product two, so you are not secured. Okay, once you are secured with this, and then talk about the redemption actions later. Okay, for now, so we will be preparing with two. For now, so we will be preparing with a kind of an heuristic view, and we will be also preparing the sandbox access. So whenever it is ready. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, coming into the topics of discussion. So this is the topic of discussion that we can able to address it together, and so we can able to implement that. Okay. Now Adobe Analytics. I told you the definition of Adobe Analytics. Okay. Now, uh, now if you see here, okay. So what is the Adobe Analytics difference in the sense like? Okay, so go to the experience.adobe.com and then click on the what you call data. What is this name? Adobe Analytics. Okay, in the Adobe Analytics, okay, you have the right pan, okay, which you can able to take it forward, right? So in this right pan, okay, so you will have a set of instruction, and then in the second letter, so we have only two members because of the victory symbol or something. Okay, so that is what it is. And so working with the data sets, okay, you need more hands-on experience rather than going into this. Okay, now coming into this, okay, like a templates, okay, and you can able to create the templates likewise, and you can take it forward, and then so you can map it up map it up with the right data. So suppose if you show this to the customer, so these are the page views that are coming. These are the kinds of widgets that are coming. The client will be happier. Okay. So before the client come back and then point out, so you are doing your job, and then so the client is very happy. with regards to the suggestion that is given. And and the other action item is, okay, so let us reiterate the discussion. Okay, so for training tutorial, so we will be using the common template. Okay, for tutorial, training tutorials on temporary basis. Okay, so we will use the normal route. Right, normal route is that, okay, so you can able to apply that and then apply the ETL transformation over the data, and then so we can able to utilize that. Right, in terms of the Adobe Analytics, okay, you can able to utilize the new template, and then you can able to bring it on the data. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, so in this, okay, what they are asking is analyze a dimension. Okay, so these are the dimensions and matrices. Okay, for you, okay, orange means it is a kind of a resources. For me it is of EEP. Okay, which is under Dan team. We will be considered as a strum. Yes, any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts on this? Okay, let us continue. So here you need to analyze the information. That step one is analyze the information, and then you need to instruct the tool in order to prepare the data. Okay. Step three is around adding of the matrices, and step four is instructions that we need to give to the data. And so whatever the instructions that we give, so it will be also render likewise. Okay, and more in detail. So we'll continue in the tomorrow class. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for attending this webinar.